Welcome to the musical practice workshop. You know, I have seen a lot of videos on YouTube on the subject of 2-5-1 progression, and many of those videos are very good, but some of them that I have watched just throw the term loosely around and say, they just say, okay, play 2-5-1, but 2-5-1, what's that? What is 2-5-1 progression? What it is? Where does it come from? Well, I have decided to say a few words about this concept, 2-5-1 progression. In my opinion, 2-5-1 cadence is the most popular cadence in jazz, and it can be derived from a specific scale or mode. As you know, a scale has 7 notes, and each note is related to by a Roman numeral, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is where the 2-5-1 term comes from the scale. You got a scale, 7 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the progression is 2, 5, and then 1, 3 chords. That's a cadence, okay? That's a cadence. That's a diatonic cadence within this specific scale. Okay, so what are cadences? Cadences are diatonic progressions, and within scales, okay? And those cadences, they progress in logical ways, and those logical ways depend on the diatonic functions of the notes and chords within a specific scale. In a major scale, for example, the notes and chords function as roots, subdominants, and dominants, and those notes and those functions are determined by how stable the notes and or chords are within the scale. And the stability of a note or chord in a major scale, for example, depends on whether that note or scale contains the 4th degree and the 7th degree of the major scale. In the major scale, in the C major scale, for example, the 4th degree is is the F, and the seventh degree is the B. So between, remember in the major scale you have two half steps, one between 3 and 4 and one between 7 and octave 8. So those half steps within the major scale have a lot to do to the functions of the notes and the chords within the major scale, depending on where they are located. So a diatonic cadence usually starts with the least stable chord to finally resolve on the home chord, which is the root. Okay, and then the quicker a chord wants to resolve, okay, the more unstable it is. All right, so to illustrate what I'm talking about, let's see 2-5-1 cadence in the key of C major. Okay, you have in the key of C major, you have 7 notes. Okay, 7 notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Okay, and each one of those 7 notes assumes a specific function within the diatonic C, the diatonic system. So, and this is according to those functions that we can come up with those cadences, such as 2-5-1, 6-5-1, and so on. Okay, so let's take 2 in the key of C major. That's 2 is D. So 2 in the key of C major is D minor, or D minor 7th, right? So I would say it's something. I'm going to play D minor 9, right here. That's D minor 9. I could have played just D minor 7, but I played D minor 9. Okay. Okay, that's 2. Now, this chord, how stable it is. It can be very stable. It can be very unstable, or it can be unstable. It depends on whether it has the note F or B, or both of them, F and B in it. So D, F, A, D, F, A. Well, this chord has the note F in it, so we know it is, but it doesn't have B. It does not have the note B, so it is mildly unstable. Okay, so let's go to, remember we're working with 2-5-1, so let's go to 5 now in the key of C. That will be G. So I'm going to play G13. I could have played G dominant 7, but I'm going to play G13. All right, so it's going to be right here. Okay. Okay, that's 5. So I got 2, 5. Okay, so G we have. Okay, G dominant seventh. In G dominant seventh, you have G, B, D, and F. In the key of C major, C major, G dominant seventh is the 5. So 2, 5, 1. So the dominant seventh chord, such as the G dominant seventh chord in the key of C major, is the most unstable chord in the scale, because it has both the 4th degree and the 7th degree of the scale, the 2 half steps. So once you play that chord, it requires resolution to a more stable chord, such as the home chord, the root, C major 7th, or C major 6/9, whatever you want to play. So 2, 5, 1. Okay, those are not just numbers thrown out there. They have meanings, and they have functions within the major scale. And you can have not only 2, 5, 1 progression in major keys, you can also have 2, 5, 1 progressions in minor keys. But the makeup of those chords will somewhat be different than if you were dealing with major scales. So, you know, when you hear 2, 5, 1, think of the functions of the chords, the 2, the 5, and the 1. What are their functions? Are they roots? Are they subdominants or dominants? And I would say in the major scale we have like 3 function groups, and we have let's say okay, let's take a C major scale as an example. We have 3 roots, and those are the C major 7th, and you have 3 minor 7th, 3 minor 7th, and then you got and you have 6 minor 7th. Those are the 3 roots, home chords. Why? Because they share most of the notes among themselves. Okay, that's the root functional group. Now let's look at the subdominant functional group. We just saw the roots functional group. Now let's see the subdominant functional group. Okay, we have the 2 minor 7th, like a D minor 7th, in the key of C major, and then 4 major 7th in the key of C major, that F major 7th. And those two chords function as subdominant or subdominants. And now let's look at the third group. The third group constitutes the dominant 7th chord in the key of C major, that's G dominant 7th, and the 7th minor 7 flat 5. Okay, that's the that's the dominant, that's the functional dominant group. So, and those chords, the chords within each group can substitute each other in a progression. Okay, because they share most of the notes within themselves. So and another thing that when you thinking about cadences, and whether whether they are in major scales or minor scales and so on, you need to think. You might need to go online and check out the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths. This circle will give you an overview on how chords progress in music. And remember, is the circle of fifths, and they just like it is just like a clock, like a regular clock. And then I believe if you go clockwise, so you're moving in intervals of fifth. And if you go counterclockwise, you're moving, you're progressing in intervals of fourths, just like a regular clock, like this clock here.